This is All India Radio. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you an exclusive interview with Chargé d'Affaires, Embassy of Nepal in India, Ram Prasad Subedi. The interviewer is Dr. Atul Kumar Tiwari, our Foreign Affairs Editor.
Today we have with us Nepal Embassy Chargé d'Affaires to India, Sri Ram Prasad Subedi ji, who is a seasoned career diplomat in conversation with All India Radio News on the whole gamut of India-Nepal relations. We saw the landmark visit by the Nepal Prime Minister to India. We saw he came and he won a lot of applause on various fronts. The two Prime Ministers discussed a whole range of issues, and in a way what we can see, a new chapter has begun in the history of India-Nepal relations. What has led to this transformation, sir? And in what way this visit has been significant?
Atulji, as a diplomat, we were trying to make arrangement for the visit of Prime Minister. First was just before Glasgow, but it could not. Later we prepared for Vibrant Gujarat kind of summit, and this was the third occasion that we worked, and in a very short time we could make arrangement for this excellent visit. Overall, the visit went very well. You can take a look at the optics right from his arrival to Delhi to his visit to Nepal Embassy, where he could actually meet Nepali community and friends of Nepal and set tone for his visit. Actually, it was a reception hosted by Embassy, where he had a great interaction with Nepali people, friends of Nepal, and all walks of life. People joined. And the next day, he had a very productive and engaging meeting with Prime Minister Modi ji, and both the Prime Minister reviewed whole gamut of Nepal-India relations in a very candid and friendly way. He also interacted with an Indian business community, primarily showcasing the investment potentials between Nepal and India, primarily in the energy sector. And the next day he had a very packed visit to Varanasi, where Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath ji himself received him, and we could feel the friendship and warmth in the reception, all the applauses throughout his road, and he had a great prayers at Kashi Vishwanath. Overall, it remained, I would say, that four major takeaways. First, he had an interaction. He met Nepali people and tried to understand their viewpoints. Next, he had a political meeting engagement with Prime Minister Modi ji, and in the same time, I should say that Honorable External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar called on Prime Minister, and National Security Advisor Doval Sahab also called on the Prime Minister. Then we should also see third element, that is economic engagement, where he could actually interact with Indian business community. And fourth pillar was the people-to-people cultural and historical friendship that we showcased in Varanasi trip.
Ambassador, you spoke of four pillars or the four takeaways subsequent to the Prime Minister Deva's visit to India. Bilateral trade and cooperation has been one of the major areas where the two countries have seen to it that it gathers strength as we move along. What has been the tangible gains in terms of the bilateral trade and economic cooperation subsequent to this visit?
Our 2/3 of trade is with India. India is our largest trading partner. If we see import-export data, you will realize that we sell 1 buy 15. So that is trade ratio. And this time you might have been following that both the Prime Minister have agreed and issued a joint vision statement on energy partnership, power trade, because that document, I believe, will bridge the gap and will bring the balance to this trade deficit. We look forward to sell power to India. Now this year on, we have surplus energy than we need. We would be buying power from India so far, but after this year, in the wet season, we will be able to sell. And through that joint vision statement, both Prime Minister expressed that we need to engage very closely and utilize the potential of power generation, transmission and consumption. It is a comprehensive concept, and I believe this sector, energy and tourism, can actually balance our trade I look forward to that kind of engagement more.
You spoke about power sector as an area where both the countries see whole lot of opportunities, from generation to transmission, and we saw the progress between the two countries, especially in terms of India going to buy power from Nepal, the surplus electricity to say so, and also we saw the statement or the intent regarding the Pancheshwar project. What is your take on these two aspects?
This vision statement is all about comprehensive concept. If you generate power, you have to have transmission line to carry that power to the market. And if you have transmission line, you should also have some market where you can actually sell it, where consumers can utilize it. So, generations, transmission line and market. So far, we were dealing segment-wise. Now it's a comprehensive, complete picture, complete flow of the power generation to transmission to utilization. And mega projects like Pancheshwar and other, including Arun 3rd and Lower Arun, they are also in the pipeline. I believe that both Prime Minister reviewed that we should complete the DPR of Pancheshwar very soon, because that is going to be a game changer project, and that will also shape the partnership between India and Nepal, particularly energy partnership. So far, that's why.
So clearly, win-win situation for both the countries. The another area where this visit has made a lot of progress is in terms of the financial mobility. We saw the joint launch of RuPay card in Nepal. How is it going to further strengthen the mobility in terms of the financial sector?
Let me also tell you what both Prime Minister launched. First was railway, which was built and ready to go ahead, and that was Jainagar-Kurta Railway. And next was the launching of Solu Corridor, that is transmission line completed under the line of credit assistance from India. Next was the launching of RuPay, and third was the launching of 132 health posts. So in these four launches we did, one is the railway connectivity is major pillar, but we showcased railway. Next was transmission line energy partnership, but we only inaugurated one symbolically, that Solu Corridor built under the assistance of Government of India, that is line of credit assistance. Then we showcased financial transactions, that people are facing a problem settling the transaction. I believe that it will give tourists, small vendors, travelers to utilize the SBI Bank's RuPay cards in Nepal, in India. So it will change the financial transactions the way we do in everyday needs or in travelers, whatever the way you need money. And the last one is the health care, and that is COVID, and after COVID, the health care infrastructure have been a major segment in major areas of Nepal-India partnership. So in these four launches by the two Prime Minister, we saw four major areas, those showcased by one each in this area.
You rightly pointed out the four key areas where you saw the launches jointly by the two Prime Ministers and how they are further going to give a push to our bilateral cooperation. That brings me to another issue of connectivity. We have seen over the years how efforts are being made for a seamless connectivity, be it through the railways, be it through the road, be it through the airways, or be it through the port route. We have seen a whole lot of progress in terms of enhancing the connectivity and the mobility of not only the people but also the goods and the services. And as you pointed out, the railways. The much awaited railway project has finally seen the light of the day. And getting the feedback from the people from both the sides, it has quite an encouraging response. What are the further areas in terms of collaboration, in terms of railway or road connectivity, which are being envisaged by the two sides?
Let me, add two more connectivity. One is cross-border petroleum pipeline. We have already built one, and that has saved a lot of money, cost, and two more petroleum pipeline we are thinking. Next is the near border operation. We have built the Bhairava International Airport, and that is ready to be fully operationalized. And both Prime Ministers have discussed that it should come into operations. Therefore, we have requested the Government of India for allowing us to operate in near border. And next, the air connectivity will also change. I believe that in transit or the connectivity areas, I should also take transit. 2 more additional ports we have requested Government of India. One is Dhamra, another is Mundra port for third country trades, and we have also agreed to build the dry port in Chandni Dodhara, and we have also talked about making the border points more integrated with the laboratory facilities so that agricultural products, tea, ginger, cardamoms, these kind of products, vegetable fruits also included, they can actually easily be traded across the border without much cumbersome laboratory quality requirement. And talks are also underway for the mutual recognition of laboratory certificates so that whatever agricultural product goes from India to Nepal also can enter easily, and that coming from Nepal also enters Indian market without any hassle. So these are the checkpost wise, railway connectivity wise, road wise, pipeline wise, grid connectivity. We must not miss the cross-border transmission lines. So these are also going to add many diversified modes of connectivity, and there will be opening areas for energy trade, for on land road trade, for third country trade. So I am pretty much looking forward to that also. Thank you.
Ambassador, both the countries, they are members on several international forums and global and regional forums, and they have a convergence of ideas on several issues on these platforms. What are the reasons for the convergence of ideas between the two countries?
Yeah, it's a relatively abstract question, but you see, as I said just before this interview with you, that our two countries are not just a geographical context. They are cultural, civilizational, family, and people-to-people affairs. So we are living side by side in peace and harmony for such a long time. We share similar emotion, similar cultural, social ethos and values. That's why we should, nurture this, we should build on this, and we should let people celebrate and build on this broad base of friendship. That is permanent context between Nepal-India partnership. So this is what we have showcased in Varanasi. Feel the love, affection and welcome in the face, in the hands, in the gestures of the people. This makes us uniquely close to India.
Ambassador, during the course of our conversation, you spoke about a natural affinity between the people of the two countries, a powerful historical and cultural linkages between the two countries. We have seen how the Ramayana circuit and the Buddhist pilgrim circuit, they crisscross across the two countries. How are we further going to leverage upon this strength?
You have rightly said, there is a free flow of friendship, I should say, between Nepal and India. As the rivers flow from north to south, the friendship flows very naturally. And there is natural affinity. This dates back to the Ramayana period, even earlier than that, when we start with Jyotirlinga, Shiva Linga, when we talk about Pasupati, Nath and Kedarnath or Somnath, the Jyotirlinga, and then we come to Ramayana period. Even today you can see the bridal procession going from Ayodhya to Janakpur. Every Vibha Panchami, people now repeating the rituals, and this is the historical connect. You will see cross-border marriages, family links, connections, doing business. This is what we have been celebrating, and as you have rightly said, that as a part of life, beyond any other parameters, our friendship, as we often compare, as high as Mount Everest and as deep as Indian Ocean.
Good to hear from you, Ambassador. Really nice to have you with us in our studios and sharing your valuable insights about the broad gamut of India-Nepal relations and the road ahead, how these relations will shape up in the future and the times to come for a better and secure neighborhood for India, Nepal and the SAARC region. Thanks a lot, Ambassador.
Thank you very much.
You were listening to an exclusive interview with Chargé d'Affaires, Embassy of Nepal in India, Ram Prasad Subedi. The interviewer was Dr. Atul Kumar Tiwari, our Foreign Affairs Editor. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of All India Radio. You can listen to it on our mobile app News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official.